Well, guys, how's it going? So, first video with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I got this phone the other day. Just been trying to, set it up and whatever. So we'll see how it does. And neighbors freaking ducks are hollering. I guess they hear me or something, and they don't like me being out here. That's just too freaking bad. So, but anyways, it's about 6 o'clock. And obviously you can tell it's dark out. But the freaking wind finally calmed down. They're hollering. So that's what's left for daylight at 6 p.m. And would you freaking believe it? It got up to about 50 degrees today, and it's supposed to do the same thing again tomorrow. So yeah. So lots of things have been going on. I took the cat in, to the vet. They said that, I don't know, that I would have to probably come back and get him because they wanted them here or there at freaking 8 o'clock in the morning or 8:30 in the morning. So I had to leave basically at like 7, and the sun was just starting to creep, above the tree lines a little bit. So went and did that. And it'd be I have to go about an hour, roughly an hour, kind of west of here, because there really are no vets close to home anymore. So there are some, I think, that are a little bit closer, but they seem to be always booked up or something, so you never really ever get in. So I just kind of just gave up on them. So I went a little bit further away, and been there before, and they do a pretty good job with stuff. So, but yeah, we dropped them off at like 8:30 or whatever in the morning. We figured, okay, well, they're probably gonna, he's probably gonna have to wait his turn. I imagine they had other animals and stuff in there, even though I didn't really see a lot of other cars and stuff. And you could hear some dogs barking and whatever, and some cats and stuff. And they actually have, I think, some cats of their own, and they just walk throughout the whole entire building themselves, all by themselves. Super friendly cats too. They walk right up to you. I haven't seen those cats in probably years, and they walk right up to you and they act like they know you. So, but yeah, so we took off. We went to that town where my John Deere dealer's at. You have to go through that town in order to even get there. Yeah, I think you can take the interstate. It's the same either way. It's pretty much the same either, for time-wise, it's the same. It's just that one's like a back road kind of thing, and then the other one's like a main road. So, by the time we got there, we figured, well, must have been like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we were getting ready to do other stuff. And then we were going to head home because we figured, well, they wanted to keep him there, for a few hours to make sure that he was going to stay awake or, be all right once he snapped out of his funk. So they we dropped off at 8:30 in the morning. Remember that now. They called the home phone. I don't know why they didn't call the cell phone, but they called the home phone, and they said to come and get him at 8:50 in the morning. So it didn't take no time for them to cut his balls off, which I guess it wouldn't take very much anyway, but you still got to put a cat under, so he doesn't feel any pain and whatever. So, but yeah, So I think the time we got home, it was like 10:30, maybe 11. And there was a message on the message machine. Come get your cat, you know. And I'm like, well, I thought you were going to keep him for a few hours. And they're like, normally we do. And then they were just giving out other reasons and whatever. So, yeah. But he's doing fine. He's doing perfectly fine now. He's happy as ever. So, I think he was definitely mad, you know, for a few hours. Because he knew that he didn't have his, you know, his balls anymore. So, but, whatever. So, and then, had to drive back down there again, you know, and then picked him up and whatever, and stayed. You know, he's home now, obviously, right? So, but then yesterday, oh, we got a deer. There's some deer. Interesting. Probably not going to be able to see. Oh, you can see him right there. Yeah. Hey, deer. You going to run away? Not really. Well, you did now, but yeah. So then the next day, mother had an eye doctor appointment or whatever down in the cities, and I didn't really know if I wanted to do the drive. I've never ever, you know, driven to the cities. I mean, I've been to the city plenty, you know, throughout my life. I've never been the one to actually, you know, physically drive there. So, but it was kind of funny because, well, it's not funny. It's actually a good thing. But the eye doctor place was just kind of on the outskirts of the city. You had to go through a few red lights, but it ain't nothing horrible. It was mostly kind of just like on back roads and kind of stuff, you know. Like I said, you were kind of on the outskirts of the city. You weren't in the heart of the city. That's probably where it would get a little more nerve-wracking. And this here was plenty of nerve-wracking enough. So, but decided to try it and whatever else, and even if you looked at it on the Google Maps, it didn't look that bad. There are a couple of turns there that would throw you off if you weren't really paying attention, because it's not like a normal, you don't have like a normal off ramp when you want to go, you know, to the overpass and then to go left or right or whatever, right? You would go over the bridge. And of course, you would have the interstate underneath the bridge. But instead of having just like your normal, you know, you veer off like that, you actually had to go past the overpass bridge. And then you'd make your loop. It was like a giant loop. And that was definitely interesting because I guess if you've never done it before, it would be kind of nerve-wracking. So, but I don't know. We did. Well, I did pretty good, I guess. We didn't crash, so that's a major plus here. So, I like I figured. I ended up some deer there. I actually ended up driving past the place because the place again is kind of wonky because they don't have their driveway right on the main road. It was like you had to turn down the side road, and then you would take the first left once you got down that side road. You know, that would be that first driveway, and then I think a little bit further down was some kind of a John Deere. I don't know if I think it's a John Deere dealer. I don't know, but it said John Deere on it when you looked at it on the Google Maps. But that basically just ended up in a loop too. It was like a dead end. So, I mean, you really couldn't make too many mistakes if you went past it. Well, like I did. Because the funny thing is too that on the Google Maps, everything looks like it's further apart than it actually is with the naked eye. Everything's a lot closer with the naked eye compared to on the Google Maps. Everything looked like it was, further than it really was. So that's why I ended up blowing right past the place the first go around. But luckily I had kind of scoped ahead before even leaving to see what was further down the road in case I did make a mistake. And that just eventually dead ends too, it looks like. It just takes into a bunch of homes and stuff. But I managed to find a driveway, pop a UE, and then, found the place. So it wasn't too horrible. It was nerve-wracking, but I guess, I'm cheating in a way too, because obviously I'm using Google Maps, but, wasn't going to trust it with my own eye. So, but yeah, so everything there went good. And then we were coming home while we were starting to leave, letting the Blazer warm up for a few seconds there. And then my damn check engine light came on. So my stinking check engine light is now on again. And it's running a little bit rough during startup. So I think the last time that happened, I just threw some B12 in it. I had to do that a couple times, and then it started running better. So it's obviously a couple of spark plugs or something are getting kind of dirty. So I don't know. But I talked to the kid at the gas station over there where I get my diesel fuel, and he said that it could be a sensor. It could be just a sensor acting goofy, or it could be a sensor that is dirty and needs to be cleaned. But I think the last time that happened, my uncle plugged in his little port thingy. It tells you what the error, like why you have a check engine light on. It'll tell you all the error codes, and I think it was for injector 1 and injector 2 that they were running, I think, too rich or something. So, but then, like I said, I ran some B12 through it. I think I had to run a couple of bottles through it, and then it went away, and then it was gone for probably a good year. I don't know if I had to do it last year, maybe. So, but the problem is with those damn Tahoes is that they have that cylinder shutdown stupid thing on them where it won't fire on certain cylinders unless they are needed. Like if you're, I suppose, climbing a big hill or you're pulling a big load or something behind you, then you need all the cylinders. But if you're just cruising down the highway, it'll turn off some of those cylinders, so it won't fire on those cylinders. Well, if they don't fire, eventually the spark plugs just get all gummy because it's constantly getting wet and then not burning it. So it probably is time for some spark plugs. I don't know. I've never changed them. They were in there when I bought it. Obviously, I've never changed them out. So but it was running fine. But he said not to, I guess, to be too concerned about it, I guess, in a way, because if it's a solid light, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just something's acting a little bit wonky, and it's just, being dumb. But he says if it's blinking, apparently, then you have a misfire. So, and he says you'll know if it's misfiring because it obviously won't run right. So, but once it warms up and runs, it runs perfectly fine. It's just when you first fire it up, then it'll run. If it's been sitting for a little while, it'll run a little bit rough. So, but I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. So, but what are you going to do? Just run some B12 through it. I did put one bottle in. I got to get another bottle next time we go shopping. Because I had one brand new one and I had one used one, and I think the used one, I'm not sure what the hell I was doing with it. I imagine I was running something through it, but I think the Farmer Lake could probably use a little bit of B12 through it too. But next year, that tractor's done running now for the year, but yeah, so that's what's going on there. The other thing is, well, it was actually super windy today. Now there's like no wind at all, so it would have been actually a pretty good night. I don't like doing it at night, but it would have been a good night to, I guess, chop some leaves or whatever. But come to find out, I don't really have anything left. Not enough to justify a shredding. So I cleaned up the mower deck and I took it off. I did all that today. I even greased it just to kind of, so it had fresh grease in it for the winter months, I guess. But they're talking 50 something today, and I think 50 something again tomorrow. So I think tomorrow I want to get that on. Get the snowblower put on. Like I said, I did take off. I did put the wheel weights on. I said that in the previous video. The wheel weights were already put on. I took off the mower deck, cleaned it, greased it, put it away. And then I put the, it's not here now, obviously, because I put it on, but the center shaft that goes from your, mid PTO to your front so you can run your snowblower. I greased that and I put it on. So all I got to do now is, I could have probably done it tonight, but I'm kind of wore out. I got to put my lift arm on, but that's, nothing. So I already took off the brush guard. You can see that. There's the trimmer. I already put the trimmer away. I was going to wash it this year, but I never got around to it. I don't think I'm going to have enough time. It's just, I want to get the John Deere ready to go. That's top priority right now. I could get it done tomorrow, I think. I just got to pull trailer out, big red out, take the cover off the blower, adjust that so I can hook up to it. And then I got to grease it, go through it, and then test it. And then that's it. We're done. Then we can start moving snow. So, but it sounds like, I got my Christmas deers out. They got to go up pretty soon too. So, I already ran the extension cord for that. I did that a couple days ago, so not too bad. But yeah, so that's what I got to do. Yeah. So won't be a big deal. Oh yeah, and then I got to put the tire chains on. But that's going to be the last thing I do, just because that's going to be, that's kind of the worst thing to do as well. So I'll put those on last of all. But then I think we're pretty much done. So what do you do, So, but that's why I guess I have my shop towels and I got my grease gun in here. I gotta grease up that snowblower, but don't even know if I'll get to start Big Red this year. I started them back in spring, but normally I like to start them in fall too. Maybe I'll go. I guess there's still plenty of time, but the one thing that I didn't start yet this year at all, I don't think I ever touched it once, is the little tiller engine that goes on. That used to be on the tiller, but I'm saving that for another project. But I keep the engine alive by running it twice a year, letting it run for an hour. So, but I haven't even touched that damn thing yet this year. So, the fuel's been treated, so I think the fuel treatment thing is good for 24 months. So, roughly 2 years, I guess, kinda. I'll probably put some more fresh stuff in next year. That'll retreat the fuel again, but I think it'll be fine for this winter as well. I always put stuff in every year, but if it says 24 months, it really should be good for about 2 years. So, I don't know, but it is what it is, unfortunately. So I just want to get one step closer to getting shit done, and we're getting her down. We're getting the list down there now. So, but yeah, other than that, I guess that's kind of it. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Things are happening, but they're just going to be not slow, but I mean, it's getting done. Like I said, we'll get the blower on tomorrow, and that'll be that. So I wasn't going to bother. I checked earlier today, and we had kind of that wind going on, so I figured, well, a lot of that wind's going to push a lot of the leaves, over to the neighbor's place. So I was like, well, why even bother? And even right here, well, in front of the shop, it looks like a mess here in front of the shop because I just got to clean it off the deck. But normally here and then along this shop wall outside, those leaves, there's always usually leaves right along there. I don't shred those. I just blow them over to the neighbor's side of the yard. He can keep them. But I didn't even touch that this year because there was no leaves really here. Because the wind just, blew them away. There wasn't nothing in here. So, screw it, But, yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. I guess you guys can tell me about the clarity in the phone. I don't think there's much, too much of a difference, I guess. But they did make the whole thing a screen on this phone, which is probably a bad thing. I don't know. I mean, it makes the screen seem bigger, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But another thing is, I gotta gripe about this a little bit, about these damn iPhones. I know I forgot to talk about it earlier, but they changed their charging cables. And I think that's kind of a stupid thing to do. I don't know why they got to keep doing it, but they do. So now you have a USB-C plug for your cable. Well, okay, you would think, one end you would have that USB-C, and then your other side would be like your USB 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever, like a standard USB plug that you'd plug into your computer. They just put another USB-C port on the other end. Okay, so now you need a freaking adapter to even adapt that to your phone. But they wanted like freaking $20 just for the goddamn adapter. I was like, that's stupid. Why not just make one end have a USB 2.0 or 3.0? Like, why do you have to keep freaking changing it? It didn't need it. It was perfectly fine the way it was. But I went to the Dollar General, and I got lucky to find a cable that will set it up that way. So one end was USB 2.0, and then the other one was that USB-C. So Apple, that wasn't necessary to do that. It wasn't. You should have just kept it the way it was. For the iPhone 11, for like what it had originally, and hell, I think even the iPhone 14s, which is what my mother has, they have the same thing as what my 11 had. But for some reason, when he went up to the 16, then they changed it. So it made no sense, but that's what they did. So, but what are you going to do, I guess? So. But yeah, I guess you guys can tell me what you think of the video and the audio and whatever else. I still have my case and stuff. I ordered a heavy-duty case for it. That hasn't shown up yet, so it'll probably be a few days. So, got to be careful with the phone so I don't scratch it or anything. I did order a protective lens thing, too, for it. So, but, yeah. So, that's that, I guess. So, but anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. I just wanted to give you guys an update to what's going on, and got a new phone finally, and it's looking like it's doing good. So I was able to move all my stuff off my old phone to the new one. So it went pretty good. So, but yeah. So anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.